Welcome back to another video, everybody. Today is a midweek update. This is kind of an impromptu thing. Had no idea. We're just packing boxes, getting ready to ship some more animals. And I check these every morning and I check them every night. But this Pitayas carinata, this melanistic, laid eggs. And so we ran over to FedEx and then now I am back and she is done. And I'm going to retrieve these eggs. When we noticed her laying the eggs, she still had like one more to go. So that is them. Looks like 9 eggs. And they're still able to be separated. So I'm using perlite, a little bit of moss. That egg is adhered pretty well. That one's not bad. Those are adhered pretty well. There's really no need to be ripping these eggs off of one another. Yeah, the rest of those are going to be adhered to each other pretty well. So we will just nestle them in there like that and get them in the incubator. So that is that. I'm using these old, kind of like old school egg boxes. They seal up really nice and airtight. And I've drilled 2 holes and then I have pantyhose, which should prevent any kind of fruit flies or anything going in there. This year in particular, the fruit flies have been insane and they actually will cause problems if I don't take steps to make sure that they don't have the opportunity to cause problems. So at this point, I don't even know what this video is going to be about. I have a couple topics that I will be filming in time for the Saturday upload, which is the day you'll be watching it. But I just wanted to do an update. I have 2 other females. They may be laying eggs, so I might be stacking some more content on top of this just to give you guys an update. So this will be interesting to see what happens, and I'll probably candle those at some point, maybe even do it on video and give you guys a look and see. But they look good to me. I've seen my fair share of these eggs and they look good, even though they're just a little bit off color. But usually with the carinata eggs, the eggs are not like snow white. They're usually just slightly yellow like this, but they're all big, fully formed. That's totally normal. So looking good, you guys. All right, you guys, so I decided that I would just go ahead and candle right here on video for you guys. I'm not going to candle all of these, but I'm going to candle these 2 lone eggs. Yeah, you can see that is totally fertile. There's actually a huge vein over here on this side, but the little cluster, and there you go right there. That's pretty much what you want to see. You want to see kind of a little bit of veins in there. Now remember, these eggs are only like maybe 3 hours old. So usually the veins also, the little embryo will form more. I already see a huge vein right here. And that's probably going to be your embryo, maybe right in there. Or actually maybe right here. So, but yeah, I'm gonna say there's definitely signs of life. These eggs should be fertile. So really good chance that the rest of the eggs are the same. So going into the old school Pepsi incubator, very reliable. Of course, it all depends on the brain. The actual thermostat is the brain that controls the whole thing, but that is it. So we will get these guys put away. Got a lot of clutter in here. And I guess I'll show you these. I don't know, this isn't really that big of a deal, but we have a bunch of crested geckos, Leachianus, gargoyles here waiting to export. And so while they were here, some of them laid eggs. And so now we have baby cresteds, which we will also probably include in the export because we just have no need for them. But yeah, kind of neat. Anytime you like create life as a reptile keeper, it's always cool. So we'll pull that baby out in the next, maybe in the next day, because we have like, there's a lot more eggs in there that are due to hatch. So, all right. So this video is now officially an update video because something else has happened that I want to show you guys, which I think is pretty cool. Down here in this makeshift tank that I set up, we had tentacled snakes born 2 days ago, 3 days ago now, and we have 14 babies. So I set things up like this because obviously this is not a forever home. And 14 babies, super strong, actually a lot bigger than I expected. And they seem to be very much at home with an anchor, with something to hold on to. So we have the water heater in there, of course, keeping the water warm. And I have feeder fish in there. They may not eat right away. They probably won't. But my idea is to just keep food in there at all times. So I don't know if it's my imagination, but to me, it looks like the fish are disappearing. There's less in there than there were when I put them in yesterday. So I'll show you the adults in just a second, but these little guys, even though they're just sitting here and seem like they're not moving, but they're about this big with something for reference, and they're very strong, and they just, like I said, they just love to have something to hold on to. So super cool, something that's not seen very often at all. Now we've had our Erpiton, our tentacled snakes have been in the Malaysia facility for more than a year. And we had 4 females that were visibly gravid like a year ago, that we kept them in the facility, of course, throughout the whole time. We imported them in June, and I was thinking, okay, it's the rainy season overseas, like these are gonna go anytime. It's very, very difficult when you start Googling breeding information and that sort of thing. It's all over the place. I think one YouTuber said that these give like birth to like 20 or 30 at a time. The internet says that they give birth to like 6 or 8 at a given time. We had 14, so I don't even know what to go by at this point, but super cool. Let me show you the adults. So of course these are 100% aquatic, and they probably don't really enjoy being handled outside of water, but this is one more of our gravid females. They look like this when they are gravid, and they are actually feeding throughout. So we keep putting fish, we keep feeding them, and they just keep eating, and apparently they just feed all the way up until they give birth. So I'm gonna put this one away. I don't want it to be out of water too long, and then I'm gonna show you the female that gave birth. And this is the female that gave birth. She is all deflated, as all snakes are after birth. So I put a bunch of fish in there and they all disappeared. So I don't know which ones ate and which ones didn't, but I'm just keeping the food constantly in there. We're using purified water, we're using bottled water, and we have 0 fungal issues, like also some of the things that I hear about and read about. Now this right here, all the babies, they shed immediately after birth. So there's like these little bits of shed skin around. So it kind of sticks to everything. It's another little piece right here. So I'm gonna put her back. So kind of a unique update, showing you guys more diversity here on the channel, and the babies are gonna be available. The adults, after they give birth, they're going to be available. The available page is updated on my website, as it try to constantly be on top of that. So our availability is getting smaller, 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 which is an indication that we're getting ready to get out of here. But I have 3 more gravid females. There should be more babies. How many? I have no idea. I think the female that gave birth was the biggest of the 4. So there's ultimately going to be 4 adult females available, 14 babies now, maybe 40 or 50 babies could be by the time this whole thing comes to an end. So that is about it. Just giving you guys an update video. What can I say? We'll see you again in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.